Danilo Gallinari signs an extension.
Yeah.
This is about a week and a half after there were rumors the Nuggets were looking to deal him.
I'm not sure how real those rumors were.
Okay, so why sign Gallo to an extension? What does it mean to the team as a whole?
Well, it's interesting that the Gallo extension to me is very similar to the Wilson Chandler extension. I mean, these are talented guys. I think we'd all agree that they're talented guys. These aren't guys that are going to get you into the playoffs. They're guys that on any given night can go for 30 points, but talk about inconsistent. These are also guys that can give you 11 points on a 3-for-9 shooting night out of the blue. So they're good guys. They want to be in Denver. They are now veterans. I mean, they've now been in the league now for 6-7 years. They are going to give the Nuggets some stability, but they're good enough that the Nuggets aren't going to be able to tank. But they're not good enough to get the Nuggets in the playoffs. So it puts the Nuggets in a weird spot where I think they're going to end up with 30 wins.
What are the Nuggets? What is the direction?
Right.
What is going to be? What is this team going to be in a couple of years?
That's why I advocated at the trade deadline last season that they should have taken a page from Kiki Vandeweghe's book. I think it was 2001 when he just fire sailed. And you just unload a lot of these guys, accumulate cap space, accumulate expiring contracts. Then you draft a kid like Moutier, and you really start building for the future. I think it's going to be hard for them to truly build for the future when you've got Gallinari and Wilson Chandler on that roster with Moody. And don't forget Randy Foye, Jameer Nelson. Got some good veterans in terms of the culture of the team.
And 4 first-round picks coming.
Yeah, but 2 next year, and then 2 that are very protected. But definitely 2 next year. And then to Woody's point, Woody, we have a right to swap with the Knicks. I'm not sure. We may have a worse record than the Knicks, but it'll be interesting to see how. I mean, the Knicks are going to be bad, but they play in the Eastern Conference, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think they're 26, 28 games. I think the Nuggets are 30, 32 games.
Right, we're neck and neck.
And I've spent, I think, as much of my life here as you have, close to it. And I've watched them, and I just don't think that the Nuggets are ever going to win an NBA championship. Their best chance to win a championship was the last year of the ABA.
Well, that's heartening.
Well,
especially for a website called DenverStiffs.com.
Well, I'm going to agree with Woody because I've written this. But to that I say,
Netherland.
But to that I say, so what? There's 30 teams in the NBA. Let me just hear me out. It's the hardest sport to win a championship in. When the Golden State Warriors won the championship last year, okay, it was the first time since 1980. It was the first time in 36 years that one of 9 franchises that had won all that time hadn't won. Okay, and if you take the Mavericks 1 championship out, you take the Sixers 1 championship out, you're talking about 7 franchises that have dominated this league for 36 years. In that same time span, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and NHL have had 17 to 20-something world champions in that 36-year span. The NBA is a 5-man sport, as we know. And when you're the best player on the floor like LeBron James, you're 1/5 of the equation on offense and you're 1/5 of the equation on defense. So in the NBA, you're married to having that guy. And you're right. The year we had David Thompson in 1976 or 1977, when we lost to the Trailblazers in the second round, it's probably the best chance we had. Yeah. And we've had a couple blips here or there. 85, we got to the conference finals. 09, we got to the conference finals. And I think that, I have no vision of the Nuggets winning a championship in my lifetime. But what I ask for is entertaining, fast-paced, altitude advantage basketball, and get into the playoffs and see what happens.
And all you guys didn't like that.
I liked it. It wasn't me that was complaining.
I enjoyed it.
We all really enjoyed it.
In fact, I told people, enjoy it while you have it because it's not always going to be like this.
Before George...
If you can't win a title, it might as well be entertaining basketball.
Before George got fired, the Nuggets had the second longest streak in the entire NBA of consecutive playoffs behind the Spurs. They had been to their 10th straight.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought. I thought if you could get to the first round every year, because we saw, all 3 of us saw when they were winning 11 and 14 games and 17 games while they were having that fire sale going on. I want to be entertained. That's why Brian Shaw, what a mistake that was. If you can't be good, at least be interesting to watch.
This team will be bad but interesting to watch, I think. And I've heard great things about Mike Malone. There's another Denver Stiffs contingency in Sacramento called Sacktown Royalty. And we talk to each other, and they are very bullish on Mike Malone. They think that the Kings made a huge mistake getting rid of him. But the bottom line is I am agreeing with you, and I think that you got to make the playoffs. And then things break your way. I mean, look at that Moe team, right? Doug Moe's Nuggets made the playoffs from like 81, 82, all the way through 89. Things broke their way in 85, got to a conference finals. If they don't have those injuries in 88, they're probably going to another conference finals. If George Karl doesn't get sick in 2010, they probably go to back-to-back conference finals.
If they'd find one of the assistant coaches who could actually
exactly.
coach,
and once you get in the conference finals, anything can happen. And so I think the Nuggets need to get back to a point where they're competing on that playoff level.
This portion of the Big Stuff presented by the Celtic Tavern, the official sponsor of the Colorado Rapids. The Celtic provides a bus to every Colorado Rapids home game. You can tailgate 2 hours before kickoff with everybody else. So go to the Celtic. It's just 2 blocks west of Coors Field on Blake. It's the Celtic Tavern.